What does it mean to live the American dream today? Is it about financial success, social mobility, or simply surviving amidst the struggles? What about becoming the vice president of the country? What about all of those? This is the story of J.D. Vance and his book, Hillbilly Elegy. It's brought these questions into the limelight, reshaping our understanding of rural America and the American dream itself. But what is it about Vance's narrative that struck a chord with so many people? Why did a personal memoir about poverty, addiction, and family dynamics in Appalachia resonate so widely? To answer these questions, we need to look into the raw essence of Hillbilly Elegy and explore how it not only mirrored Vance's life, but also highlighted the larger socioeconomic and cultural crises gripping rural America. Hillbilly Elegy, published in 2016, isn't just a memoir. It's a mirror reflecting the harsh realities of life in Appalachia, a region often overlooked in national conversations. The book portrays J.D. Vance's journey from a troubled childhood in a working-class family to becoming a Yale Law School graduate. It's a story marked by generational poverty, substance abuse, and a failing educational system. Vance argues that these systemic issues are exacerbated by cultural attitudes that often hamper progress. He describes a pervasive sense of hopelessness and defeatism, a mindset he calls learned helplessness.
Yes, unfortunately, it's very familiar to me. It's what I write about in the book. And if you look at the data, or if you just go and talk to some of the folks who live in Eastern Kentucky or Southern Ohio like you did, you realize that those stories are awfully common, too common, I think.
This psychological barrier, he contends, prevents many from breaking the vicious cycle of poverty and despair. Yet, amidst these challenges, Vance's narrative is also one of personal agency and resilience, epitomized by his grandmother, Mama, whose tough love and guidance played a crucial role in his success. Why should this matter to us? Because the issues Vance outlines in his book extend beyond his personal story. They touch on broader societal ailments that affect millions across the United States. The themes of economic disparity, inadequate access to education, and the opioid epidemic resonate far beyond the borders of Appalachia. They are integral to understanding the American dream today. But Hillbilly Elegy did more than just highlight these issues. It skyrocketed Vance into the national spotlight. Following its publication, Vance became a sought-after commentator and thought leader on rural America. His appearances on major news networks and political talk shows turned him into a voice for the white working class, a demographic often seen as pivotal in American politics. So how did Hillbilly Elegy propel J.D. Vance into the public eye? The book's success provided a platform for Vance to articulate the struggles of his community in a way that many felt had been missing from national discourse. His narrative offered an authentic perspective that bridged socioeconomic and cultural divides. In an increasingly polarized America, Vance's story provided common ground for conversations about social mobility, the opioid crisis, and the role of government in alleviating poverty. This newfound prominence saw Vance transition into public speaking, consulting, and writing opinion pieces for prestigious publications. His background, a Yale Law graduate with experience in the tech field, added layers to his persona, making him a multifaceted commentator equipped to tackle complex socioeconomic issues. The journey from memoir to momentum didn't stop there. In 2020, Ron Howard's film adaptation of Hillbilly Elegy brought Vance's story to an even broader audience. Despite mixed reviews from critics, the film starring Amy Adams and Glenn Close served to humanize the challenges faced by people in Appalachia. It took Vance's narrative from the pages of a book to a visual medium that reached millions more. The movie amplified Vance's visibility and solidified his standing among audiences who were previously unfamiliar with his memoir. But beyond just raising awareness, the film also had significant implications for Vance's political trajectory. The story of overcoming adversity resonated with many, endearing Vance to a conservative voter base valuing his background from the heartland. Which brings us to the intriguing possibility: could J.D. Vance be a political contender? Following the success of Hillbilly Elegy, Vance aligned more openly with populist conservative viewpoints. He voiced support for key aspects of Trump's agenda, including immigration policies and economic strategies. This alignment with Trump's base positioned Vance as a potential vice presidential pick for the 2024 elections. Vance's story offers a strategic value. His insights into rural America could help the GOP broaden its appeal to the white working class demographic, crucial for electoral success. This aspect of Vance's persona, combined with his articulate advocacy for conservative values, makes him an emblem of the political outsider, a role Trump capitalized on in 2016. So how has Vance used Hillbilly Elegy's success in the political arena? In 2021, he announced his candidacy for the U.S. Senate in Ohio, a pivotal battleground state. His campaign mirrors the themes in his memoir, addressing issues like the opioid crisis, manufacturing decline, and economic inequality, key concerns for his voter base. Vance's personal narrative of overcoming adversity serves as a powerful tool, presenting him as a counterweight to career politicians. What can we take away from J.D. Vance's story? It's more than just a tale of personal triumph. It's a lens through which we can examine the crises facing rural America and rethink the American dream. Vance's journey from a struggling childhood in Appalachia to the national stage underscores the importance of resilience, personal agency, and the role of supportive relationships in overcoming adversity. But it also raises critical questions about the systemic barriers that hinder social mobility. How can policies be reformed to support struggling communities better? What role do cultural attitudes play in perpetuating cycles of poverty? And how can we bridge the socioeconomic divides that fragment our society? Reflecting on Vance's story compels us to think deeply about our own situations. It's a call to recognize the pervasive issues affecting many Americans and to consider how we can contribute to meaningful changes. Vance's journey serves as a reminder that the American dream is still attainable, but it requires a collective effort to address the underlying factors that hold people back. I want to be clear, this is not a political channel, and this video is not an endorsement of J.D. Vance. If anything, the truth of his story has been overshadowed by becoming Trump's running mate. That shouldn't change the fact that his lived experience and his memoir shed very critical and illuminating light into parts of America that have become long forgotten. My own personal favorite candidate from the last few years was actually Andrew Yang. Yang also shared similar thinking around rural America. And even though he was ultimately the wrong messenger for a crucially important message, both he and J.D. Vance play important roles in shaping our national conversation about our forgotten countrymen. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked that video, then please consider subscribing. And if you want to see more like that, then head on over to the channel where you can find more deep dives into movies, media, and culture. Thanks.